Well, folks, the video for August 12th, 2017 is with Aristo, as you can see, and we haven't actually come up with a title yet, so we'll see where it goes. Aristo, it's all yours.
Thanks, Ron, once again. And just let me say, we have no clue what we're going to talk about, or at least I don't have a clue. There's a massive heat wave here in Greece, probably in all of Europe. So I've just been fiddling around with fans and things like that, lights, and trying to get an atmosphere at least where I'm not going to just melt like a pat of butter all over the chair. So, you know, it's been hard to sleep and then all kinds of things. So anyways, let's just, you know, what's on Ron's mind? That's what I want to know. You know, I want to know the various topics on Ron's mind because it's his channel. You guys are interested in him. I'm just a secondary, you know, whatever. I pop in occasionally. I don't want to be saying the same things over and over again. My issue is, let's get at the fundamental of what we can do to make a difference, you know, instead of hoping other people are going to make the difference for us and just talking about that, because I know many people are interested along those lines. I see Ron's viewership go up when certain topics are mentioned.
Oh, yeah, with the Heather thing, they really, I mean,
exactly.
I have a video. One of my recent videos has over 11,000 views.
Now, how long has it been since you got 11,000 views?
Oh, it's been a long time since, until the Heather thing came up. I hadn't had, I mean, I'm glad when I get 500. But I mean, I have two videos, at least, maybe three, that have over 1,000 views. And as I said, the one has over 11,000.
All right. See, and that's a big deal because you have a target audience now. You know exactly who responds to you. You have a series of you know, whatever interests and topics, and you can see that, well, these topics are all well and good, but people don't seem to respond to it. I'm a little different, you know. My target audience would probably be a lot smaller, you know, because I don't really, you see it over and over again, and what people call hopium, or it sounds reasonable, it sounds rational, and you have a lot of people supporting these things. They come out, I can vouch for it, I can vote for it, this and that, but I really don't know what I can do. I mean, you had the ambassador come out and he supported stuff that demanded people pay for seminars. You know, come and pay for my seminar and then we'll teach you how to, and that even sounds rational.
He's not even on anymore, you know that, right? I mean, I don't know.
I have no clue, you know.
No, I mean, his team, the lady from New York, she still hosts it, but he hasn't been on, I don't believe, in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what happened to him.
So that other guy, that the guy with the beard that took your place as his spokesman?
He disappeared also.
He
hasn't been on in a long time either. It's just that one lady from New York that hosts the show, but she has all sorts of different people on, you know, giving ideas and stuff. So
maybe a lot of people
watch some of them. I don't watch them all.
Yeah, because it seems like his direction took your viewership, and then you had a whole other block of viewership that was disappointed in you for falling for his stuff, that left and was turned against you and all of this. And, you know, but now the things are settling somehow. But this is a natural thing. When things settle down, you have another opportunity to basically jumpstart what you were doing, you know, your own being. Things go in cycles. They go in small cycles and in large cycles, and we should take advantage of all that. But we are not the only ones taking advantage of all that. There are others who are very, very, shall we say, proficient and well-studied in how to control cycles and how to, you know, they've observed this, they've documented it, they poured money into researching it. And I'm not talking about metaphysical directions. I'm talking about real human beings, social scientists, you know. There was a lot of research done in a lot of areas like this. Mind control is not just about electromagnetics, chemistry, hypnosis. It's about basic social engineering, basic behavior behavioral conditioning that's done in real time. It's not just done in childhood or whatever. It's happening constantly. There's behavioral conditioning going on, and many participants are not professionals in it. They're just hired hands, or maybe you don't even need that. All you need is a certain person that if you hype them up a little bit, they'll just go with the program and do what you need to do. So you're having a cycle, in my opinion, you're coming full circle, and you can start again, of course, with all the experience you have. But the thing is, along with the experience, you have negative experience, you have disappointments, you have pain, you have suffering, you have your ivory towers have been knocked down, you've been disillusioned. So the challenge is here, and maybe we can point our video in that direction. How do we recover from disillusionment? Disillusionment is probably part of the process. It's not like everybody wants, or most people, everybody, myself included. I'm not going to say most people. I'm going to say that it's in human nature to really want things to go smoothly, easily, without a hitch, and basically get it right the first time. But whoever gets it right the first time, is that really what we want? Will we really get it right if it gets right the first time?
Who knows what right even is?
Exactly. Well, that's the big question that I keep seeing. But we do know what right is because we feel it. We know what wrong is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing.
And to me, everything that the cabal does is wrong.
Look,
everything.
You can argue anything, but from the moment that you base your conclusion solely on rational argument, that means you are not including your heart into the picture. Your heart is a perception organ. It perceives. It is meant to basically discern. Without the heart, there is no discernment. It has its own little brain in here. And the little brain is meant to evaluate reality. And then you have the gut, which is another brain, and that's meant to evaluate reality. Very few of us, if any, really have all of these three aspects, the upper brain, the lower brain, the middle brain, even the lowest genital brain, which is meant to evaluate the deepest sense of sensual life, all of and that has connections with whole Kundalini thing and this and that. But these things are meant to be awakened in us. And that is the awakening. It's not, I was reading some stuff about the awakening. It's not an awakening here. It's not our eyes are open so we can see. So what? We can see, and it sucks. And what are we going to do about it? Now, the thing is, we are designed, in my honest opinion, to do something about it. It's just that we have been conditioned to go against our natural propensities, basically to deny it on the one hand, our natural propensities.
Well, definitely there's been brainwashing. I mean, I don't have any...
It's like, look, if you believe you're powerless, you're brainwashed. That's it. That's one of the big criteria of brainwashing, is you are powerless. And then somebody says, well, I can't, I'm nobody, I'm nothing. Well, that's the brainwashing, if you really believe that. And then to accentuate, to punctuate the brainwashing, you have this whole other area of lunatics who think they have wings and can fly, or who think they come from another planet or another reality or another dimension and it's better there than it is here. Look, reality is holographic. That does not mean it's an illusion. That's what people, I keep hearing it and it pisses me off. Reality is holographic.
Pisses me off too.
Look, it's wave-like, okay? That's what holography is based on. It's interaction of waves. And this interaction creates diffraction patterns. Waves are tangible. Our medium is tangible. We're seeing it so what? An atom is mostly vacuum, okay? It's mostly empty space. It doesn't matter. It's empty space is tangible in itself. Energy is the movement of empty space, okay? It only seems empty because we only detect motion. We detect energy. We are beings of energy that are designed to detect energy, okay? When everything stops, we perceive it as a void of nothingness. It doesn't mean it's not there. Being and presence is everywhere, omnipresent. It's the medium of existence, or what I would call the existential medium. I can't help but get metaphysical with these things, but I'd like to stay what you might call down to earth. But the fact is, remember, every minute and every second of the day, I am, and maybe that's not the right way to phrase it, but I am under a pressure of brainwashing. I am under a pressure of mind control. I am bombarded with imperatives that are whose purpose is to make me go against myself. This is a reality. It doesn't mean it will be successful. It doesn't mean you are a zombie. I was reading not even reading, but somebody, pointed my attention to a book someone wrote. And this woman wrote some book about these gifted children, and these are saying, well, you don't know if the book is fiction or fact, where the author says, no, this is fact, really, I channeled it, blah, 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 or I don't know. But this author essentially says that half the moons in the solar system are artificial, that the controllers are building a new moon, the extraterrestrial controllers, somewhere, and this moon is going to block out any hope for transformation, any hope for awakening. Just stop it. Even the greatest of us will be blocked. That's it. They have it. They got us. And this is supposed to be an uplifting story, you know.
That's supposed to be uplifting?
I guess. Hope and the children and the, you know. And it's like, there is no, if that was the way it was, there would be no awakening, hope, anything. These kind of things are not that advanced. Really, I mean, if you're going to lead to that thing. On the other hand, if there is a divinity, a spirituality, a deeper cause, these other techno zones are just children in the sandbox. They're children playing in the sandbox. And to me, it's basically a projection of the psychopaths right here on this planet. Like I have said, the reason I do not believe in what, I don't know what they call it, the Fermi statistic or something. Basically, there are so many planets in the galaxy. The possibility of life being on them is very large. You would have millions of planets, or you know, with life, and the possibility of conscious life, of human-like life, is even, you would have at least hundreds of them. The possibility of high civilizations, even if you had 10 of them, they could reach us, you know, in this galaxy alone, let alone the other galaxies. So what's going on? You know, they're reaching us. Maybe they don't want us to know about it. Maybe they're, and I'm saying the following. Well, that's well and good, but universes are based on what they call universal constants. There's a theory that says there are many universes, multiple universes, but I'm not talking about reality, probabilities. Like in one universe, there's a Ron that says go left. Another universe, a Ron says go right. Now I'm talking about completely different, just like different planets. One has atmosphere, another one doesn't. You have universes. One is just hydrogen. Another one has galaxies but doesn't have stars. Another one has stars but doesn't have planets. Another one has planets but doesn't have life. This one is on the verge of probably having life on many planets, you know, which we may or may not recognize. Technology hasn't gone that far. But sentient life is a deep issue. This is the cusp of this universe's evolution. If there is sentient life, it's going to go through the same karmic challenges that we are going through. It's going to experience psychopathy. It's going to experience these things. It's going to experience heartbreak. It's a matter of, it's the genetic disposition to do that in a physical environment. That's why many people say, oh, the physical environment is blah, 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 and get away from it and all of this. There may be life at other levels. Like, I'm sure there is. There's conscious life at other levels. Every occultist connecting to spirits and all of this, principalities. There may be great life. Galaxies may be alive. Planets may be alive. Archons essentially were divinities, but they were the spirits of planets themselves. They were associated with the planets. And astrologically, the planets determine the fate. The gods determine the fate. So these planets, they were personified as gods. That's one theory anyways. You don't have to believe it. Disagree with
There's lots of theories. Somebody just made a comment recently on one of my videos that the earth is flat. Get rid of that globe behind you.
Yeah, well, yeah, so is your head. You know, the thing is, that's the point. You see, there's, when you're mind controlled, you have a natural, again, a propensity to resist it. There's a natural psychic immune system that's being repressed. All of this repression of our physical immune system is a reflection as well of our psychic immune system being attacked and repressed. Cancer attacks the immune system, so we are under a psychopathic social cancer. And this whole psychopathic social cancer that's going on is affecting all levels. It's not just the so-called elite. It affects everything. It's just that those who have more control are more obvious in their effects. So our immune system is being constantly challenged. So we should be aware, not intimidated, in my honest opinion, of being mind control, under mind control. It doesn't mean you are mind controlled 100%. This is a matter of degrees. You are conditioned. The Buddha came out in order to alleviate suffering he believed, in my opinion, from what I read and what I believe is mistranslated, basically get rid of conditioning, get rid of your ego. Your ego is your program. It's not your personality. The term doesn't really, in Greek, it just means me, you know. And I read somewhere somebody goes, well, there's a conflict between the real I and the me. The me is the body and your personality, and the I is the true self. It's like, no, these things are supposed to be, that's like saying there's a conflict between your stomach and your eyeballs. So you got to either pluck your eyes out or cut your stomach out. And only one can survive. No, these are organs of your whole being. The I is not your true being. It is an organ, an instrument. Just because the essence of you perceives through that, you know, you can't, if you take it out, then you're just a disembodied nothing. You may be something on another plane, but you don't have the tangible potential that you do in physicality. Physicality is special, and just look at all of these deniers of physicality. Fifth dimension, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I got kicked out of a group that I belonged to because one of the people said, I come here to talk about fifth dimension stuff. I don't want to hear the 3D stuff. I got up and left.
Okay.
And
I'll tell you what.
Moderator of the group still hasn't told me to come back because the person who said that had a good relationship with him and he doesn't want to offend her.
Again, politics come into the story, and politics is intimately connected to brainwashing, because you don't have to, it's like, look, offense is not really, it's not offensive to disagree. I disagree with many people, but I'm offending myself if I start agreeing with shit that I don't agree with. Just to keep people from screaming at me, then I'm a coward. I'm sorry. I'm a coward. I'm afraid of bullying. And because I'm afraid of bullying and being terrorized by bullies, and because it's something that had happened to me since the childhood playground or whatever, I'm sitting here remaining a coward, listening to the masters because I'm a coward, instead of standing up. And then I'm bombarded with all these things that are trying to deplete my testosterone and I don't know what. And then all these other things that are giving me brain fog and trying to keep me a coward. And it's like, fine, that's fine. A coward is somebody who submits to fear, not somebody who's afraid. Being afraid is not a bad thing. Fear is not an illusion. Fear is nature's way of saving your ass when there's danger, okay?
Absolutely.
There is such a thing as brainwashed fear, though. Fear is a weapon that can be used against you, just like your own immune system can be turned against you when you have an autoimmune deficiency syndrome. You know, tuberculosis or whatever, not tuberculosis, but leukemia. The white blood cells, they just explode and start eating you up. Your immune system turns against you. AIDS, all of these things. The thing is that we can reclaim, is it skipping? You froze?
Well, you're
yeah, I think
it's pausing.
I see. See, when we come into an animated, whenever I get passionate about something, it tends to do that. Maybe I should speak more calmly. Maybe the computer itself, the algorithm is designed to glitch, because I don't think there's human beings on the other end pressing buttons. These are algorithms. I was reading all kinds of things about YouTube and how Google and searches and this and that. And it's like some big mystery. Nobody knows what the Google algorithm is and does. Every year they change it, they tweak it. It has wholly different parameters from one year to the next of what the search engine will give forth, or what it chooses valuable, and what and it's all for the client, it's all for us, which I don't believe. But if they tweak the algorithm to respond to us in a certain way, we will try to adapt to the algorithm. There's no better way to train us to have an artificial intelligence overlord than that, because that's what artificial intelligence would do. It will train you, reward you if you listen to what it does and says, and punish you if you disobey. So there are subtle ways we are also being conditioned. Again, mind control is ongoing. Face it. It's okay. Okay? It's like, it's not like, oh, admit you're sick and now, no, it's a challenge. The bully is ongoing. It's a challenge. There's no shame in it. You know, being shamed is again a tactic. And listen, nobody attacks somebody who doesn't deserve respect. Nobody attacks, let's put it this way, a psychopath will not attack somebody who's not dangerous to them. You know, they're not sadistic. They are efficient. They can be sadistic with little kids. They can bring the little kids to do anything they want with them. You know, in basements and who knows what, and rituals and I don't know what not. They don't have to be randomly sadistic in a way that's gonna put them at risk. So what they want, as far as we're concerned, in my honest opinion, is to be efficient. That's what this whole mind control is all about, efficiency. To cleanly get rid of us in a way that's not going to make a mess and is not going to get their hands dirty. So they can keep doing their orgies and whatever they do, you know, and laugh all the way to the bank, as they say. So we may be confused, but these are cycles. And remember this, that the U.S., and many Americans have this, when something goes on in the U.S., they think it happens all over the world, which is not true. When there's a tendency, a social tendency in the U.S., they think it happens all over the world. And the funny thing is, the establishment of propaganda is promoting this. Because the U.S. has the greatest communication technology in the world, you know, they've got their hands in everybody's pie, so U.S. culturalism infiltrates everything, Americanism. Yeah,
I know somebody wrote me in the last couple of days that says that, that we're ready to go into the tribulation. I says the tribulation has been happening in third world countries for a long time.
Yes.
So you can't say that just because something bad may be starting to happen here, that now it's the beginning of the tribulation.
Oh, 9/11. Oh, come on, dude. I mean, how many people have, you know.
Look at the world. Look at, how would you think if you were in the Middle East or in South America or whatever? Where
Let me put it a different way. If 9/11 was not promoted, if it was just no big deal, oh, it was an accident, oh, it was whatever, a plane whatever crashed, or maybe it was terrorists and this and that, but it wasn't turned into a big deal. If it was downplayed, it would have, and if you emphasized disasters that went on in the rest of the world, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. It was created to be that big a deal, to have an impact, to create Patriot Acts, to do all kinds of things. We know that. You know, and to create this war on terror that has escalated. It's not as if the U.S. wasn't already in war with all these countries in the world. Before 9/11, there was Central Nicaragua, you know, Bolivia, all of these things. They were all over the place. And even in the Middle East, Africa, Somalia, you know, and 9/11 just, oh, now let's just expand it. And so you have these so-called peace-loving presidents like Obama who, you know, how many discussions did you have with people who were claiming Obama worked for the good guys but was pretending to be a bad guy?
Yeah.
You know, look at all the time wasted. Unless this is a lesson, is it a lesson learned? All these traumas, all this time wasted, all this, it will be a good investment if lesson is learned. Is lesson learned?
You know, it's interesting. Someone sent me a clip of a guy that was reading from a book that was written at the end of the 19th century.
Yeah, I read
and it
that.
named Trump as the last president, and it named him by name. And it was written in 1890 something.
Well, yes, I think it did. Did it say president?
I shared it on my
Facebook
Facebook page.
Because this guy had a previous book, and he used the word Baron Trump, you know, Baron's Underworld Adventure.
Two books, right?
Yeah, and Baron was just Baron, but Trump was this wealthy guy. And I guess it was. But Trump was his mentor. So he used the Trump. He knew somebody named Trump, probably. I think he knew one of Trump's, you know, great-grandfathers or something like that. You know, it may have been possible, you know, that he did. And Baron was some name that they used in the family. I mean, it could have been that. I don't think it was some prophetic thing. I'm sure it would be used that way.
Well, it was certainly interesting.
But there is a narrative.
When it was written and everything.
Yes, it is interesting, and these things do influence the reality. The mass psyche is really, Trump is like a pivotal figure in my opinion, but he's also not really doing anything. He's a pivotal figure because he said certain things, because he aligned himself with the alternative crowd. Now they use the word alternative right. Without Trump, they wouldn't be able to, they wouldn't really have impact. Again, it's an American thing. Many of the things, political correctness is mostly an American thing. It's in other countries, but it's, you know, it's the American style is take the neo-Nazis in Germany, for example, were mostly people who came from the US, burnt crap and then left. You know, it's like the people with the shaved heads. You got these people here in Greece who are like neo-Nazis. It's like, what are these people? You know, who are these people with shaved heads and goatees and muscle shirts walking around like this? And, you know, which is an American thing. I see that with Hell's Angel bikers, and then, I don't know, the way they would, you know, hype them as bullies and as racists and this and that and the other. So this is all propaganda. It's active, theatrical, dramatized propaganda. And because we are human beings, have their whatever, all of this repressed crap, the propaganda says, okay, all of your repressed crap, you can go over there. You have your little in-group, the alternative right. You have your in-group, the alternative left, or the center, or the moderates, or the this, you know. Go into one of your designated groups, wear your t-shirt, your football jersey, and start the battle, you know.
That's what they want. A battle is a game.
Exactly. Because they can control games. You know, games are easy to control. Psychopaths play games very good. They're very good at it. They're very good at chess. You know, the intelligent psychopath types. You know, but the thing is, they don't have a heart. They don't understand that. So don't people really understand as well? Can't they understand that their biggest motive is to repress or destroy, if they can, those propensities in us that they can't relate to? And thus, if they can't relate to them, they can't control them. They ridicule the heart. Every drama we have is either a frivolous, superficial, happy ending type of thing, or a serious, realistic tragedy. You know, it's not like they invented tragedy. Tragedies have been going on, but the thing is, tragedy is being used today as a form of promoting realism and saying that, okay, Murphy's Law, what the hell is that? Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. You know, this is what makes these other types, who are very superficial in my honest opinion, certain, let's call them New Ager types, that keep talking about positive thinking and don't think negatively, okay, and all of that. You see, look around and don't be afraid to get paranoid a little bit. Don't be afraid of paranoia, because it's not paranoia. It's simply active, passionate caution. Be actively, passionately cautious. You don't have to be afraid, but if you channel the fear, then it's going to be digested. Okay. Now, what possible title can I use? You know, after having said all of this stuff.
Well, I put it on as a potential title: "Recovering from Disillusionment."
Okay, that's a good one. It's as good a title as that. Okay. So I'll leave it at that. You know, the main thing of the story is to recover from disillusionment. Do not be afraid of what's going on. Accept that it's going on, but doesn't mean accepting it. You don't need to be fatalistic. On the contrary, the fact that we are targeted still, and in a way that's cautionary. We're not being violently killed en masse. There's no plagues. There's no, you know, they still haven't blasted us with the 5G that they're saying they're going to blast us. It's still all being rolled out. And don't worry about time running out. The only reason this feeling of time running out means that you're not really doing what you need to be doing on the inside. And there's no pressure against that, you know, or maybe there should be pressure. Maybe we've been so stressed in one way that we're trying to compensate by coddling ourselves. Oh, we don't want to hurt our feelings. And you know, it's like, and then these other types, the so-called regenerative right types, become a little too cruel, and they're grow up, shut up, get a job, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, look, man, you guys are like you're like twins of opposing viewpoints, but you complement each other. If the alternative right and the left, or the right and the left, or whatever. And again, this is a USA type mentality, but in Europe you see it as well. And they can get together. They might see that, look, man, the good parts of the left and the good parts of the right complement each other. That's what the so-called controllers are afraid of.
Yeah.
They don't want that, and they will fight that tooth and nail, which means that we, the people, WTP, it doesn't mean the toilet paper, but sometimes we are treated like that and treat ourselves like that. We, the people, are advised to focus on that. Okay, now that's all I'm going to say. I'm sorry for the rant, you know, but it's a hot day, and you know, I've had a few things on my mind. I hope I organized them a little bit. I'm not the type of person who does 5 ways to succeed and you know, how to do it in 3 easy steps. You know, what did you want to succeed in? Here's the way to do it. Follow my plan, you know. No, I believe in giving people hints. I believe in dialectic and sharing, and maybe to help get your own brain moving through a more, you know, kind of natural, spontaneous approach. Because sometimes things are too easy. We don't want to go to things that are too easy because we kind of get spoiled in a certain way. We stop our brains working, and yes, we want things efficient. And I get taken by this 5 easy step type of thing. You know, it gets a lot of hits, and I watch these things myself. But I think that it will serve us to be cautious. Do not be afraid of that, you know, and to be discerning, because that's where discernment comes. We're developing discernment. This is a good thing. Thanks once again for being patient with me and for listening.
Okay, thank you, Aristo. Namaste.